everyone, it's Victor here once again, and welcome to Victor's Tiny Kitchen, where we cook Filipino favorites and more. And for today guys, I'm going to be sharing with you how to cook deep fried pork ribs in garlic and salt. You know, this is really one of my favorite appetizers that whenever I would go to restaurants or pubs, I would never fail to order this, and it's so addicting to me, it's so delicious. And so one day I thought I'm going to recreate this dish in my kitchen. And so this is happening today. So here are our ingredients. I have here about 2 pounds of pork ribs. They're basically neck parts of ribs, and that's why they're big chunks like this. But this is what I got, and this is what I'm going to use right now. I have about 1 cup here of all-purpose flour, 1 egg, and about 1 tablespoon here of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon here of baking soda, 1 teaspoon here of paprika. I have 1 piece of lime. I have about 5 cloves of garlic that I have minced. Sorry, 1 serrano pepper here that I have also minced. And we're going to be using, of course, salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to use the spicy Maggi seasoning here, and as well as the Worcestershire sauce. So let's get started. The first step that we have to do is to make our marinade. And so we're going to combine all our ingredients here. First, we're going to put into this big bowl here our garlic, the powdered garlic, by the way, and then the paprika, as well as our baking soda here. The purpose of baking soda here is to help us in tenderizing our meat. And then we're gonna add our Maggi seasoning here. So Maggi seasoning here is an option for me. I don't have the cooking wine. If you have cooking wine, kitchen cooking wine, you can use it instead of this one here. So I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of the Maggi seasoning here. Nice thing about Maggi seasoning is it has sugar in it as well, so I don't need to add sugar in this marinade. And then the Worcestershire sauce, I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons. And then now we're going to add salt. And then pepper. It's better to combine all your ingredients first for your marinade before you would put in your meat. So that way you're able to combine everything together and infuse all the ingredients together first before your meat lands in it. So that's done. And then at this point we're going to put in our meat. And then with my bare hands here, I'm gonna mix them all together. So I'm done mixing my meat and my marinade together. So what we're gonna do here is to set this aside for 15 minutes to let our pork here marinate. So the next step is to beat our egg. I'm gonna use this whisk here. That's done. So we're going to set this aside for now since we're still waiting for our pork to marinate. And then once 15 minutes has passed, then we're going to start frying our pork. So it's been 15 minutes and we are done marinating our pork here, and now we're ready to fry it all up. And I'm ready here with my cooktop. It's now heating up with my oil here in my saucepan. And at this point what I'm going to do is to pour in this flour onto my pork here. And I'm going to give it a good mix. Well, actually I'm going to use my bare hands just to make sure that all your pork here is covered with the flour before we add in our egg there. At this point, I'm going to add in the egg. I'm just going to pour the egg on top of the pork here. Then I'm just going to let all my pork here bathe in the egg before we'll submerge it into our hot cooking oil there. Okay. So we'll check if our oil here is hot enough. So make sure that your temperature is at least 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Especially these ones that I got here are kind of big chunks. I'm gonna check. So this one's bubbling already. When I dip this chopstick in it, it's bubbling. So that means that this is already hot. I'm gonna start with one big chunk here. Another one. So there's still space for one more here. So 4 is enough. One tip here is to not overcrowd your saucepan, because you want to cook all your porks here evenly, and by giving it enough elbow room for them to move around, then we can cook it properly. And since these are big chunks of pork here, we're going to cook it at least 10 minutes or more, and we'll be right back. Hi guys, I'm back here and I have already finished frying my pork here for 10 minutes. But then we need a little extra step here to do in order for us to thoroughly cook our pork here. These are big chunks of pork ribs here, and we need that extra step for us to completely cook this. And in order for us to do that, we have to bake it for another 40 minutes. Now I have already set up my oven here at 375 degrees and it's already ready. So the next thing for me to do is to pop this in right now. So guys, we're back here and our pork is still baking there in the oven, and we're waiting for 40 minutes more for it to completely cook through. And while we're waiting for that, we are going to do the last step here, which is to stir fry our garlic and serrano pepper. So what I'm going to do here is to start up my pan, and to this I'm going to add a tiny bit of olive oil, just a drop, that's it. And this is hot enough. I'm going to add in now my garlic. I'm going to stir. What I'm doing here, guys, is not to completely cook my garlic here. I'm just going to kind of sear it a little bit. And then I'm going to add in the serrano pepper here. Give it a mix. Add a little bit of salt. Give it a mix. So once our pork there is cooked, we're going to plate it in, and then we're going to sprinkle this garlic and pepper here on top of it. It's going to be gorgeous. So this is done. I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm going to turn off the heat here. Hi guys, we're back here, and our deep fried pork ribs in garlic and salt is now cooked, and our final product is right here in front of me. It's really so good, guys, but remember that if your pork is cut as big as these chunks of pork here, you have to bake it for at least 40 minutes depending on the temperature. But then the extra step is an assurance for you that you cook your pork through, especially that they're bone-in. So I hope you guys will give it a try, and for more info on this dish, please don't forget to visit my website at www.victorstinyKitchen.com. And if you haven't yet, please don't forget to click the subscribe button here, as well as watch my other videos. And so thank you again, guys, and hope to see you in my next one. Bye for now.